Hello, welcome to day 12. I honestly did not know what to talk about today. I was just going to ramble on about anything and everything, whatever came first to my mind. But the content creator in me, or the person that wants to make a change or to influence people's lives or make their lives better in me, wanted to provide some sort of value at least. So I quickly came up with an idea, and I ended up going with why you should be taking notes, or why you should be writing down your ideas as soon as they come, or something along the lines of that. The title will be the finished product of what this video actually is. And I thought this would be a great idea because I do want to further progress my community that I'm building to where people can learn how to create content and my workflow, so that they can also sort of implement what I've learned into their workflow, and so that they can also make it their own and find what works best for them, So this is sort of one of the first things that comes up, or first things that you have to do when you're a content creator, is to come up with an idea. And it's kind of hard because ideas you can't just make an idea like that. You can brainstorm, but for me personally, most of my ideas come randomly when I'm driving or when I'm eating, even when I'm talking to people. I'm just like, yo, that would be a sick idea. And then I would have to write it down, because if I don't write it down right away, I would forget. I'm a very forgetful person. So I write things down, and in a way, I feel like that's one of my biggest secrets. I don't really remember things very well. So if I do remember something, it's because I intentionally wanted to remember it and I wrote it down. Does that make sense? But anyways, we're kind of getting off topic, and there's really no secret to this. I use my iPhone, and I've always been using my iPhone to write down ideas. I don't know why. As much as I like writing down things on a physical journal, I wasn't able to get myself to do that because I think it was too big. I usually had like A5 journals, so I couldn't really keep one in my back pocket. Maybe if I had a smaller version where it was just specifically for ideas, where I could keep in my pocket, maybe then I would be writing down on a physical journal. But for me personally, this is what I use to write down my ideas. I found that it is the best way for me. So I literally just open up the Notes app and compose a new note. And that's how I write down my ideas. I would just type it out, type in the details, and then I would just go on about my day. Because especially when you're trying to be present and when you're talking to someone, you don't want to just be constantly on the phone, right? So I would just write it down, put it away, and then when I have the time later on, I would organize it. To be honest, I'm still slacking on that part. I need to organize my notes and my photos, a lot of other stuff, but that's what that's what I would do. Just write it down, put it away. And that's how most of my videos come to life. It's kind of cool if you think about it. The system that I use is called Para. You can look up other YouTube videos online. They explain it a lot better. I'm just going to give like a quick rundown of how I use it, because I'm not sure if I'm using it properly. I'm not going to lie. So there are 4 main folders in my Notes app. And then these 4 folders have even more folders in them. So you could have folders within folders, and even folders within folders within folders. So it can kind of seem daunting at first, but once you get this system down, it's pretty easy, and I really, really like it. I haven't really gone and used any other system. I think you can make it even more simpler, but I feel as though this is as simple as it gets if you want to be the most organized, right? Again, you can change around the system to suit your needs more. But the first folder is called projects. So how I'm using it is I keep the things that I'm currently working on or things that I need to actively have. So it's my most used folder. And I have things for my YouTube channel, my Instagram, personal stuff, and just creative ideas. So sometimes my ideas are all over the place. Sometimes they're in my YouTube folder. Sometimes they're in my creative ideas folder. I have a lot of folders with different ideas in there, which is probably not the best, but at least I have them down somewhere, right? And that's where I keep mostly everything. This is where I mostly go to access anything and everything, because notes can pretty much do it all. You can write down tasks, you can write down notes, you can scan things, you can put pictures in there. There's a bunch of things that you could do with notes, and I really love this app. I'm so happy that it's free. So that's the first folder, P, projects. So again, it's called Para. The next one is going to be A, which is areas. So that's the second folder. And to be honest, I don't really know what to use it for. I haven't really gone into this folder. There's only a couple of things in here, which are goals and lyrics and thoughts. So goals is one folder, lyrics and thoughts is another. And that's what I have in there. I'm not really, a singer, songwriter, musician type of thing, but I do like to play a couple of instruments. I do like to sing songs. I do like to write lyrics sometimes, very rarely, but I have done so in the past. I don't think I'm ever going to share that. I don't even know why I shared me saying that I like to sing and I like to play music, because I don't really tell people that. But yeah, those are the two things that I have. I have, goals that I haven't really updated since 2023, which is something that I need to work on. But I have my goals listed in another journal anyways, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you wanted to keep everything in one place, this is a really, really good system. So that's number 2, areas. Number 3, R, is resources, which is basically, it's basically what it is. You have like a database, however you want to say it, of things that you want to keep and refer later. So things like recipes, contacts, little bits and pieces of knowledge that you want to have access to. So let's see. There's books to read. That's what I have, which probably should be in projects, but gray area, I guess. There's a to-do list in here that is no rush. So like it doesn't really have any priority. It's just whenever I can get to it. And yeah, that's resources. I also don't really use that much, although I probably should start putting in things in there. I feel like I'm a pretty organized person, but I'm not organized in that sort of way, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's move on to the last one, which is archive. So again, you see if you put the first letters and spell them out, it's Para. I'm pretty sure you know that. I don't know why I'm repeating it this whole time. But archive is probably one of my favorites because it's where things go if you don't necessarily want to delete them, but you don't really need them at all anymore. It's just something it's like a what if. Like, what if I need this, but I don't want to delete it? Because notes don't really take up any space on your phone anyways, unless they have, media in it. Most of mine don't. So I have archives for things that I've maybe accomplished or don't need anymore. And that's where all of these things go. It's pretty cool. I really like archives. I think it's one of the most underrated things because there's a recently deleted in the Notes app already, but they only allow you to keep it for 30 days and then it automatically gets deleted. So again, if you don't want something to be deleted, but you also don't want to get rid of it, but you also don't really use it, a lot, then putting it in at least an archive folder would be more than good enough. And then you could literally just search it. So you could type in the search bar and find that note just in case you need to access it again. And that's pretty much it. That's how I organize my notes and my ideas, my thoughts, literally a bunch of stuff. So that's, again, one way I could also journal. I also use Notion. Those are the two main things that I use. Good Notes too, but it's more of just my iPad. I don't really access it on my computer or my phone. But that is how I organize my thoughts. I said that already. But again, it's super important that you write down your ideas as soon as they come up, especially if you're a forgetful person like I am. Anyways, that was a pretty quick video. It went by pretty fast. I think it's just because there was a pretty decent amount of things to talk about. I don't really know what to talk about tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. And we'll see how this goes. I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. It's just, there are things that I need to improve on. I need to stop saying, to be honest, like, things like that. It's just things that I need to work on. And I need to stop repeating things. It's just so, I feel as though my brain still can't really think as straight. And it's just something that I need to continue working on in the long term. And maybe it's just me needing to put in more brain power for me to actually compute and process what I need to say instead of just blurting them out, right? So that's something that I need to work on, is just to be more present, even more present than I am now, and more conscious of what I'm saying. So in due time. Okay. Thanks for listening.